It's new for 2020.
This is the Mike DJ Kelly podcast.
Sound excited.
This is the Mike Kelly podcast.
Mike Kelly.
Let's crack on, let's ramp it up, and please stay alert and awake, as it's another fun-filled, action-packed audio adventure where we continue to look on the bright side of stuff with the shorter than short. It is the shabby-haired Mike DJ Kelly podcast show. Climb on board as we take a look at what's been going on in the news and on social media. You're right, it's mainly Cumgate or coronavirus at the moment. But hey, let's press on and see if there's anything out there that might lift our spirits. If we were playing a song to open with, it would be Roger Whittaker and Durham Town, or possibly the Pink Panther theme, if only we could afford the correct PRS licenses.
On this week's podcast.
So with our slightly grim northern twist, let's rock and roll as we head off into the sunset with competitions, TV, BBC, websites, CCTV, drugs, Twitter, YMCA, hairy bikers, and a whole lot more. And again, no slagging off the radio this week.
This is the Shorter Than Short Mike Kelly podcast.
As they gradually lift lockdown measures, this could be a tricky time for shopkeepers and retail venues, as there will be more than the usual chance of a robbery with everyone wearing face masks. Firstly, the robber will not stand out in a crowd and is less likely to be caught on CCTV facial awareness cameras due to the face covering.
This is the Mike Kelly podcast.
As most planes are grounded and ferries are not running, is there a shortage of industrial strength illegal recreational drugs? As TV programs like Border Patrol imply they come across our borders, are they still getting through, or is there a shortage? Mind you, all the usual marketplaces for substances like this are closed. Maybe we will come out of this on the other side a cleaner, fitter, healthier nation.
Is that true?
Sat in the sun rather than waiting indoors for the delayed Rose Garden interview with DC. Nothing to do with me apart from I live in the UK. I would like to see honesty and decency as a key requirement for those for the ruling government. Not sure why he is allowed to make a televised statement. I was a bit disgruntled at getting made redundant from EE after 18 years, but I did not get offered any media channels like this to give my feedback or argue my case. Is it something new and available to everybody?
Golly gosh.
Anyway, a few points about Cummings. I never knew he was an ex-partner of Katie Allsop. I like the Twitter message from Alex Andreo. So apparently the reason only misspelt versions of Cummings can trend is that porn filters block it. How useful is that for a controversial public figure? If I ever decide to stand for public office, it will be as Alan Titwank. Sergeant Dave on Twitter. If this was a normal year, there would be 213 days until Christmas. But this is 2020, so feck knows how long it'll take. Final one for now, JP Devlin says, has this sort of ridiculous nonsense been happening in other countries in the midst of the pandemic, or is it just here? A couple of podcasts to watch out for featured the Glorious Republic of Yorkshire radio show on my weekly pick of the podcast show on BCB 106.6 FM. Give it a go. It's a podcast, not a radio station, and it's very good. A bit Captain Cremonish, but I'm not saying they're copying or anything bad. I think it's a brill and funny. Another good one is John Richardson and the Future Noughts podcast. I listened to episode 6 about travel. Very interesting, makes you think. Maybe they could drop the swear words. If you need to transfer any large files, and I've been doing a lot of that with the radio because of the lockdown, try Transfer Me, all one word. It's free to use, so you can sign up to the premium version. It offers an excellent service.
This is the Shorter Than Short Mike Kelly podcast.
If you want to get in touch about anything to do with the Shorter Than Short podcast show, please use either of the following to contact us. Or if you want to send your own stories for the next episode, email cuttings or sound clips to email hello@mikedjkelly.co.uk or on Twitter @MikeKellyDisco. If you want to be alerted to future podcasts, give a wave to Mike DJ Kelly Podcast on Messenger or just search for them on Spotify, iTunes or podbean.com.
This is the Mike Kelly podcast.
Guess the celebrity, born on the 5th of June 1976 in Newcastle. He is an English stand-up comedian and actor. He rose to mainstream fame through making appearances on TV, particularly interviews and on panel shows such as Have I Got News for You? In 2012, he made his movie debut in the fantasy comedy horror movie Stitches. In 2015, he made his musical theatre debut in The Producers, and in 2018 was nominated for a Laurence Olivier Award for his performance in Young Frankenstein in the West End. Who is he? Meeting my son tomorrow for the first time in weeks. He's not told me which park bench we'll be meeting at, like spies, planning to take pork pies and a couple of cold cans. As things gradually reopen after lockdown, I was originally looking forward to going to the pub, but now I'm hearing how one of the largest pub chains is planning to run things. I'm not so sure. Perspex panels at the bar, staff wearing goggles, space markers on the floor, spaced out seating, staff to maintain social distancing. I wonder if you have to put your hand up to go to the toilet.
Is that true?
As you get older, you pick up skills and remember things. I remember when me and my mates from school started doing discos using the teacher's car. We did a gig somewhere and we were behind a wired cage on a stage, like a chicken coop. No idea where it was, and no bottles were thrown, but I'm reminded of it every time I watch the Blues Brothers. The other thing that's bugging me at the moment is our out-of-control garden and the trees at the boundaries. Whatever you do, do not plant trees, especially little innocent-looking ones, near boundaries, because they grow up into big beasts that wreck fences and annoy neighbours. When watching adverts on the telly, what does 5-star de facto mean? Is it something a company or person invented? What does it actually mean? Talking of adverts, what's with the new Tampax advert about? Well, sorry, I know what it's about, but the wording. Got to get it up there, girls.
This is the Shorter Than Short Mikedjkelly podcast.
Okay, it's guess the song time. Hurry up, and wait. I stay away all week and still I wait. I get the blues, please come see what your loving means to me. Name the song or the artist. The lines again. Hurry up, and wait. I stay away all week and still I wait. I got the blues, please come see what your loving means to me.
Golly gosh.
Back to the social media sites and Twitter. Matt Burke said, as we listen to epidemiologists, it's good to remember that the Titanic was built by experts and the Ark by amateurs. Liam Young says, why is there social distancing outside of shops but not inside them? Annika Rice says, not only the ignominy of my Madame Tussauds statue being melted down, but the rose named after me, the Annika, is now discontinued. What next? Are you going to tell me I'm no longer Rear of the Year? Finally for now on Twitter, Jim Royal says, the BBC have just said that the BBC have lost £125 million in revenue due to coronavirus. How's that then? What have they stopped selling or doing that's cost that amount? I think the government-funded state-owned broadcasting outfit should explain itself. That was me saying that bit. On a similar theme, I like the story in The Guardian which had the headline, Extra UK Bank Holiday in October could boost economy by £500 million. If that's the case, why only one day? Give us a whole month of bank holidays. We can cope with it after months of furloughing and sunbathing.
This is the Mikedjkelly podcast.
If you're worried about catching coronavirus, this could be the answer. Penny for your thoughts on Twitter. I'm more worried the bloody hairy bikers are now telling us how to beat the corona. Who'd have thought two fat blokes from up north became epidemiologists overnight? If you want the corona-busting recipes, I think they're in the Daily Mail. If you like amusing video clips, go to Sid's Place on Twitter and see lots of short funny clips of the late Sid James. Equally, if you've not seen Larry and Paul's daily government speech sketch, it's well worth a look. This week's do-gooders are the YMCA. You'll find them at ymca.org.uk. The YMCA is the oldest and largest youth charity in the world. In England and Wales, they intensively support 228,000 young people every year, ensuring each young person they meet has an opportunity to belong, contribute and thrive. YMCA enables people to develop their full potential in mind, body and spirit, inspired by and faithful to their Christian values. They create supportive, inclusive and energizing communities where young people can truly belong, contribute and thrive. The YMCA is facing a £5 million deficit due to COVID-19. This money is urgently needed to support vulnerable young people in local areas. Together, we can plug this gap. If you want to find out more or donate, go to ymca.org.uk.
This is the Shorter Than Short Mike Kelly podcast.
I know there's a lot of Specsavor-based humorous pickies around Barnard Castle at the moment, but surely at some point they will make an ad on this theme. After all, they are known for their humorous adverts. We have in the past had astronauts in airports and a guy kissing the wrong woman at the railway station. Needed to post something urgent the other day and realised what a mess our post is in, especially at weekends. Remember the old days where there used to be a mailbox at the main sorting office where you could post things at any time and it was dealt with ASAP. Is it right or morally correct to advertise medical products on TV? Products that tell you they will protect you from this, that and the other. Any sane person knows a healthy diet and exercise will keep you well, and if you need medications, the doctor will advise which ones you need. Think about all the people with underlying health and anxiety issues who end up buying all these things to protect themselves and their families. Also, is it true that the swab mouth and nose test is only 70% accurate, meaning 30% are wrong, and key workers could still be going back to work carrying the infection? If you want to get in touch with this top-rated and much-listened-to podcast, please contact by email hello@mikedjkelly.co.uk, on Twitter @MikeKellyDisco. Indeed, if you want a podcast making for your business, voiceover, or any other help with radio producer or presentation work, please do get in touch. You can always get the Mike DJ Kelly podcast by going to iTunes or Spotify and searching Mike DJ Kelly, or you could fill your furloughed time by sending a text to your friends and tell them about the Shorter Than Short podcast. Quotes and cuts from this show may be used, but remember all material has to be got from somewhere and somebody has to put the effort into getting it to you. So please, credit us.
This is the Mike Kelly podcast.
Just in, on Twitter, Piers Morgan, how will they prevent malicious test and trace reports? I can imagine a lot of idiots trying to get people like me quarantined by inventing claims of being in contact with me. June Gervin, on when they call you about the test and trace. I was just asking my other half about that. Do we accept that they are who they say they are? Some random person ringing and saying you need to stay at home? The world's largest all-electric aircraft is about to take to the skies for the first time. Yes, it's the 9-seater, 114-mile-per-hour Cessna Caravan. Yes, Caravan. Graham Fowler and many others. Barnard Castle is the new Lords. Hundreds are arriving, throwing their spectacles away, then driving home shouting, "I'm cured!"
This is the Shorter Than Short Mike Kelly podcast.
Okay, time to go. Guess a celebrity, born on the 5th of June 1976 in Newcastle. He is an English stand-up comedian and actor. He rose to mainstream fame through making appearances on TV, particularly interviews on panel shows such as Have I Got News for You? In 2012, he made his movie debut in the fantasy comedy horror movie Stitches. In 2015, he made his musical theatre debut in The Producers, and in 2018 was nominated for a Laurence Olivier Award for his performance in Young Frankenstein. In the West End, who is he? Ross Noble. What song are these lines from? Hurry up, and wait. I stay away all week and still I wait. I got the blues, please come see what your loving means to me. Yes, it was Debbie Harry and Blondie and Sunday Girl. That's enough for this edition of the crazy, shorter than short, shabby Mike DJ Kelly podcast show. From me, Mike Kelly, thank you for listening. Please take care out there. And remember, you can always find the podcast by searching or shouting Mike DJ Kelly podcast.
It's new for 2020.
This is the Mike DJ Kelly podcast.
Sounding snazzy.
This is the Mike Kelly podcast.
Mike Kelly.